Hello Virgos, Virgo Sun, Moon, and Rising. Just blow out my incense, they're still flaming. Welcome to your lunar full moon, lunar eclipse, full moon in Cancer. And I've already shuffled and I ended up cutting the oracle cards. I caught myself, I'm not recording, I'm not ready to cut yet and spread them, but I did meditate and cut these, but I did make a mistake with the tarot. So um, this is going to be a 6-card spread. And this lunar eclipse full moon in Cancer will be affecting your 11th house of social awareness, groups, your contribution to a group, humanitarianism, um, your hopes and your wishes for the future. Can also include technology and our social media age here. So going to be looking into what could be coming up. This lunar full moon, lunar eclipse can have some longer term effects than a full moon without an eclipse. The sun, earth, and moon will be aligned. So let's see what we have here. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Virgo suns, you may feel these messages and changes on a soul level in this 11th house. Virgo ascendants, you may experience this in your physical world. And for Virgo moons, on an emotional level. So see what we can get for messages, and keep in mind they're general and predictive. And I just want to welcome back subscribers and anyone new to my channel. Hope you find these messages helpful. And of course, Happy New Year to you. So let's get into your recent past. Also, I am going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to look at the cards at the bottom of the deck to kind of tie a message together for the messages that are in this reading. So recent past, we have slow and steady 8 of Cups. So Virgos, some of you had a moment to kind of slow down and really look at what's around you. And you may have been making a little bit of having an exit plan, feeling like you needed to have an exit plan. This is an exit plan that would have taken you some time. Maybe it was an emotional decision. But it wasn't a swift exit. It was like, I'm going to gradually kind of, like someone moving house, but just taking like a little bit at a time, and all of a sudden then until you're completely finished. So somewhere in your life, and in this 11th house with your groups, friends, and social awareness, some of you may have been making somewhat of a change in this area of your social life, moving on to follow your own, leaving a group to kind of follow your own aims, or follow a new star, or just go on a different type of journey, something that was no longer fulfilling you, obviously, here. And it may have taken some time to come to this kind of revelation that you've needed to seek out something new that was going to stimulate you. I kind of get a sense of maybe even boredom, your hopes and dreams here, something here where you're going to follow your own star, but do so in a way that is gradual, that this is your recent past. So there was a gradual shift that some of you have made in this area. Some of you too with a cause, possibly. It could be been a cause or something that you were working towards with the group, but now you may have found, or in your recent past found, that there was something a little bit more important to you, a little bit more dear to your heart, that you may have felt that you needed to kind of leave some things behind, leave some people behind. But the slow and steady, you may have done so in a way that was maybe amicable. Again, not too swiftly. Very careful as you were as well realizing things. Slow and steady, you're able to really take in your environment, really assess what's around you. And through that process of being able to kind of slow down, you kind of realize maybe where you need to let go of some aims, let go of a group, or just, again, leave a group behind to go and do your own thing. Okay? So let's see here. I also kind of get a sense of like there was maybe something that you started up, and you were assisting someone, helping someone, or helping a group. But then once they could stand on their own 2 feet, then that was where maybe you felt like you weren't, maybe even felt like you weren't needed, or it just wasn't. Again, it was the experience. It was for a time, but it's now has been time for you to kind of move on and follow your own star here. So realizing that there's either something that's been fulfilled and you're no longer feeling useful, or again that this is just not fulfilling you anymore. So what we have for your present point of advantage, we have deep freeze with the Two of Pentacles. So you're definitely in this mode where again you have left something behind, and you are here on this place where you're considering you have your options here. You have some choices to make, and in the deep freeze, this is a hibernation mode. This is allowing time to do its thing. Again, going from slow and steady to an actual mode where you are allowing nature to take its course, timing to take its course, but as this is also planning. So some of you, I feel with this, you're in this mode where you're content with the way things are. You're realizing that it's okay to pull back and take a, not even like a pause or time out before you make your next moves, but you are as well making connections. I feel like this is connections. While you have this time to kind of slow down, this is maybe not a time of action for you, but a time for you to assess what are the possibilities with a new partnership, with a new plan. This could be something contractual. I was kind of picking that up here. So some of you may have been able to, you maybe had to wait until the contract was up for something here. If you had signed on to some type of contract here, but now there's this pause where you have a moment to consider what's new. Renegotiations as well. It could be renegotiating a contract, and in the midst of this, you're waiting here until, could be waiting until spring, literally, or this is just you being in this mode where you have choices, you have options, and you may be going back and forth with a lot of communications as there's really no action taking place yet. Okay. Some of you could be in the middle of a transition. You still may be, there still may be some loose ends that you're tying up from an old situation, or still some communications, like something between the old and the new. That's why I feel like many of you Virgos may be feeling like you're in the transition between an old and a new. Idea, aim, hope, wish, desire. And you're mapping out the details, and you have the time to do so, or you're taking the time to do so. Not making any drastic moves or decisions, being very patient. What we have here for what is a challenge or resistance. Wishing well with the Three of Pentacles. Two cards that give me the energy of having faith in a situation. And for you to be in this place of the Two of Pentacles, and then here your challenge or resistance is the Three. I want to say this is kind of where some of you are having an issue of, this is two locations or two places. Being in, caught between two places, two entities, two groups, two companies even, that you may need to partner up with for your wishes or your desires here. I feel like for some of you the challenge is knowing or having faith that your next move will fulfill your desires. Some of you may be in a mode where you're still waiting to, or you're still even considering what it is that you want out of a situation, to come out of a group. There also could be this sense of what you can offer into a situation, what you can contribute to a situation, or what you even want to contribute to a situation. Will your investment pay off? Are you going to, some of you, I feel the importance is like being on the same page, having the same goal and the same focus is something that is a question for some of you, or a challenge for some of you, getting a group to all be focused on the same outcome as far as what you're putting into it and what you're getting out of it. Okay. So some of you, that's a bit of a challenge in the way of getting it started, actually making a plan, actually putting a group, bringing a group together. So some of you, I really feel like you with your options here in a situation, and what you're considering the challenge or resistance, even could be what you'd be compensated, or what you would have to contribute to a situation. Again, this is group contribution. Some of you, I'm kind of getting a sense of trusting, believing that what you invest, that it's going to go towards the cause that you want it to go, and not fulfilling some other type of purpose that's outside of your wishes and your wants and your dreams. So I'm almost kind of getting a sense that some of you want a little bit more control, or a little bit more of a piece of, or even say so, in where your investment's going, where your money's going, kind of knowing, kind of, again, getting renegotiating contracts here. Being on the same page on that is maybe somewhat of a challenge or resistance for you, and why maybe things are maybe delayed at this time. But it's like you're in a position to kind of take advantage of the delay. But that's where what I'm kind of seeing here. And if you need to work with a group, it's kind of really making sure everyone's on the same page as far as what the outcome and what the desire for the outcome is. With the wishing well, that's a desire. Also, I feel like there's a sense of control that some of you want to have. You don't want to leave it up to anyone else. Because with the wishing well, you trust that what you put in and offer into this well is going to produce what you want to see, and you trust that the universe is going to bring it to you, and you're not too rigid or focused on how it's going to come to you. But for some of you, you may really be very kind of, I want to say a control freak, but a little bit of very, you're meticulous about what you want to be produced out of a group or a situation. So at this time, some of you may be informed in a sense of gathering, again, communicating, wanting to see the details, know the details, having people show improve themselves. Almost kind of getting someone who's like, there's submissions somewhere, some of you that you're considering, or again, it feels contractual, but it's your next step, something new here. But you wanting to have a sense of control and making sure everyone is on the same page as far as what you want out of a situation, getting what you want out of your group, making sure your needs are being met, trusting that those that you appoint in different positions, or you, again, finding a group, depending on what level you are, finding that group where you are on, you see like-mindedness, like we're all kind of working towards the same thing here. That's a little bit of a challenge or resistance for some of you. So what we have for unexpected help is that we do have education with the Knight of Cups. So I feel with this, and again, you being in this point of advantage with the deep freeze, taking advantage of a time or a season where things are slowing down in some area, that you can educate yourself. And as well, there could be someone who is happy to help you with where you're lacking information or lacking knowledge. Um, this is an offer here too for someone. This could be someone who, in an area where you may lack, there's someone who it's a joy for them to do this work, or it's a joy for them to study what this is, and they're very fluid as well with their information and any questions that you have. Also, for some of you, this is a sense of you learning something new that brings you joy, brings you emotional fulfillment. This is a new journey. Okay, so this is, you know, as far as looking and following your own star, that's a decision that some of you made in the past. I really feel that this is a journey where you are kind of really putting yourself on the horse, so to speak, and going forward with this new journey, something that's going to challenge you. There's a new challenge here, but it's a one of expanding your wisdom, and again, something that you're going to enjoy. Like, this is this figure here coming out of this book here. I feel like that, and I feel like there is this someone that you will be kind of learning with. This could even be your partner. Some of you, with your partner, you could be going on a new journey, learning something new with your partner. Some of you in a new group, if you're single, possibly could be learning of someone having feelings for you. Or again, there's friendships here. There's something here where you are going to kind of meet someone that's on the same page, and wants, desires. But I really get the sense that some of you may just feel like you need more confidence in making your next move towards your goals, towards your aims, and learning. Even again, I'm kind of getting the submissions things. You learning what's out there as far as new connections, new groups. Because I'm getting there's a newness, like something you've done in the past. You don't want to use the same group. You don't want to use the same people. You don't want to use the same company. You don't want to use the same something here. So that's where you're at a place where you're really kind of looking at the details of what your options are. That's where I was getting kind of submissions and making sure that you're getting a good kind of group together that has the same aim, has the same focus, and where you can really build with solidly as far as producing what it is that you desire. So here, I feel like this is where you are kind of learning what's out there as far as your options. And through this, I do feel that you will be, or a lot of your aim too, will be to hopefully find people that are as emotionally invested as you are, having heart in what your aims are. Groups. You don't want someone who's just in it for the money. You don't want someone who's just in it for, you want it to be about the joy, the love, like someone's heart. Was your heart in this? And this is where I see like you will be kind of finding this, learning this, and that's some of what your focus is in a new group. Having their heart and soul in it, and you having that kind of person that, or someone who can help you, is very happy to offer assistance in anything that you need to know. And then we have here for your advice, we have One Ring Circus with the Page of Cups. So having an open heart, but also kind of taking the reins yourself here. Very independent energy. This may be something new for some of you, to go into something independent rather than rely on a group or feel that you need a group to accomplish an aim. Some of you just may be opening up your heart, or needing to. This is the advice here again. There's also a kind of a sense of having some type of personal connections with this new group. They're not being a middle person, possibly. Some of you, one-on-one connections are more important to you than maybe groups in some area. This as well could be an offer of help to some. Maybe there's someone, or maybe there's someone who's doing something, if this is not you, but I feel like it's, again, reaching out. Also, there's a sense of like, if I'm getting two things. There's a sense of you taking the reins on something and doing something independently on your own. Or taking the responsibility to communicate and offer your cup to, if it's not you being independent in something, this is like, I feel a group of people coming together who may have been working on their own. Some of you as well could be taking responsibility to... Sometimes the Page of Cups could also be, I'm kind of seeing it as an apology. Accepting someone's, or you offering, making amends with something, possibly. Because again, I feel for some of you this is being caught between the old and the new. And some of you may have walked away from a situation. Somewhere there may be something here where you're taking responsibility as far as your communication goes, and even initiating new contacts. And both these cards, I'm kind of getting someone kind of looking backwards. Some of you may need to make an independent decision aside from a partner. Something could be in a pause because there's someone who wants one thing and someone who wants another, or there's two different ideas. You are connected to this person, but I feel that this may be showing that your advice in getting the desire that you want in a situation, some of you may be looking backwards, or maybe kind of reconsidering an offer here, or reconsidering something that you did leave behind, but you may be doing so, or needing to do so independently from a partnership. Okay, that's for some of you here. Some of you have moved on and there's no going back. You're open to new connections. But I feel like if there was ever a middle person involved in your connections, or who you were coming together on a group with or contributing with, there's a sense of you taking a little bit more responsibility for you to kind of feel out the connections you're on your own. Again, education, kind of learning again. Even with your communication with new individuals, you kind of needed to have someone who, I want to say, filtered through new connections. There's a sense I feel that this is kind of advice for you to kind of feel out the situations on your own. Be open-hearted with more direct communication. And also being open to doing something that may, for some of you, may not include a group. I'm getting to something with child independence here. Allowing a child to be independent. There could be something here where your child is, someone, if you are a mother or a father, a child is coming into their own, in a sense of what they desire to learn. Through a child, some of you could be seeing or being inspired, or there could be something that is involving children that you're working towards. Helping children with something creative here, or something here that you're working towards. Again, kind of going back and forth. That could be some of the nature that's for some of you, because again, humanitarianism, children, some times that this is that house that could, not children, but humanitarianism, group contribution, what your wishes and hopes and desires are. If it's involving children, something that could be somewhat of that. Some of you could be taking on a teacher role where you want to educate a younger generation. And so some of that could be some inspiration that's coming to you. And in that sense, that would be very kind of, as far as really looking at who you're bringing into an atmosphere where there's children. That could be some of what is a challenge for you as well. What does anyone who's coming in for an opportunity, again, I'm kind of getting submissions again. Even if you're maybe submitting, if that's something that isn't your aim and you want to become a part of. Some of you, I feel like there's a sense of being open to working with children. All right, so that's a little bit of that here. But new connections, and definitely tied to your emotional level. Having the heart to do and making sure that others are coming from the right place, having the right focus. That's very important when anything concerning or involving children. So, well, that won't be for all of you, but that kind of getting that theme. But what we have for the outcome, we do have Field of Dreams with Two of Wands. So this is good because this is taking action now, and the seed being planted, possibilities being even beyond what you maybe once expected in a situation. This is the Field of Dreams, in which the possibilities coming together. This is also a group coming together, I'm feeling like. Through the process, you will be successful in having the missing piece of a puzzle, or again, the opportunity that has arisen. There's this meeting of minds, but also action and taking place, movement, moving towards a plan. This is the plan going into action, and you there being a lot of passion that is shared in a name with a group. So I definitely feel like what your next plan is, with your hopes, your wishes, your desires, a group is going to come together. Right now, you're in this mode of being patient, going back and forth. But what the outcome is there definitely being some plan or movement, and also you being in the position to have the say-so that you would need in a group, and also overseeing what's going on in a situation, having the power that you're wanting, rather than leaving it into someone else's hands. Again, it is in a sense of like you taking some leadership or independence role in whatever you need to do to learn or educate yourself. Again, I feel like you're going to do that. But you're ready to stretch yourself and go into a group that's a lot more in alignment with where you are, where you have grown, and but whatever new you're going into, you're really kind of taking your time, and that's a good thing, because what's going to come together is when it does come together, there is this sense of definitely some movement going on, and you having the power within you to see this plan hatch the way you want it to. So this is definitely some expansion going on. Even if the group is a small group, it could be maybe, if it's not 2, maybe 3 people, but you are somewhat of a leader. But there's also being open to new connection. A new connection, I feel, can for some of you be the missing piece of a puzzle. But you being in a place where you're feeling that connection out for yourself, and not having someone kind of deliver that person to you, or there's like, yeah, something here where there's no middle person. There's with some new journey, new aim that you're going towards with a group. There's a sense of you being at the forefront of deciding who it is that you work with, deciding who you're coming together with for a plan or idea to take place. But I really get the sense that this is going to be this point in time where you're coming out of this hibernation mode, out of the consideration mode, and into action mode, planting seeds mode, envisioning your plan, and actually having people around you that are going to be hoping for the same things that you desire here in your area, with the new social group. So I feel that there will be strong connection and inspiration. You there with the new group, you will feel inspired, and not only that, there will be action taken, and you will feel really good about a new social sphere that you may be finding yourself in. So a quick look at the what's at the bottom. So we have home, and we have the Fool. So some of you, I feel, for some of you, I do feel like it's a bit of a location thing for some of you. Some of you may be feeling like you want to either return to your roots or start something in your roots, where your roots are. There's this sense of newness coming around you with your home and family, and some of you, this is going to be whatever this new social group, whatever you've left, whatever you're about to come into with this lunar eclipse. I feel again it's eclipsing out the old and coming, bringing in the new, and this is going to be give a sense of your new family. What you produce, you will feel very proud of, and I feel that this is a divine new beginning, a new chapter that will, again, excite you and connect you with some new connections with like-minded people who want the same things that you want, have the heart into. And also, if you don't have a knowledge, there's something again where there's someone who does. There's someone who that's maybe been their focus all their life, or that's been something that's very. So whatever you need as far as the puzzle pieces to kind of come together for that A team, so to speak, that's what's coming together. This is going to be a new sense of new family, but also kind of get the sense that for some of you, a location is very important, but there's something here with your roots that I feel that you will be either going back to or bringing some new energy into. So that is your reading, Virgo. I do hope this was helpful for you. I did mention in all the other videos too, I'm not going to be showing myself on camera on this platform. It's really about the message and the work. I really love kind of focusing and giving you the full picture of your messages rather than a full picture of me. I mean, that's just me. But if you want to as well, you can follow me on Twitter as well. I started Twitter at the end of December, and I'm kind of treating it the same way with YouTube as far as when I do messages when for the zodiac. And they're more short, insightful, inspirational things, but also it depends. I've used the tarot on it, and I've used oracle cards on it, and I always take a picture of what I'm looking at as far as what I'm getting for a message for you. And same thing, sun, moon, rising, as well as Venus messages. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, and again, no schedule with that as well, spirit-led, transit-led. So that is that. I'll leave that information below for those of you who are on Twitter and would like to get a message on your zodiac from time to time. So I welcome you to subscribe if you're not, like, share. Thank you to subscribers as well. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Take care.